mouse click has to go to Tallinn or somewhere else, some magic lands, then they are first. Please, team mouse click. With the game Extermination.
Yeah. Hi. Hi. So, hi. We're Team Mouseclick, and our idea was to create kind of like a Souls-like dungeoning stuff magic. So yes, it was difficult by design, but I'm gonna be real honest. I haven't yet beaten it, so it's a bit tougher than I expected it to be. Also, we kinda went over the board. At first, we had, I mean, David had the designs for like, ooh, yeah, 3 bosses and different, so many creatures. Yeah, they're gonna make a big thing, and like, this is a game jam. We didn't have a lot of time. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so the biggest inspiration for me was Titan Souls and Hollow Knight. Just like, small creatures, and I thought that would be a great concept to work with. What I thought about was that rules of thirds. So, like, okay, there's like little guys, little bugs. You're bigger than them, but I forgot what I wanted to say.
There's still bigger creatures, so you're still in the middle. I don't know. You wanna ask any questions?
Yes, but first of all, maybe audience wants to ask some questions.
You're asking a bunch of nerds to speak up. Good job.
Don't.
Okay.
Yeah, one question. I'm bringing this. Where was it? There.
What was the round thing that appears and disappears? I never got to it before I died.
So that big thing that you saw there, right? Okay, that was one of the bosses. So that was supposed to be like a cockroach sort of thing. A beetle. Yeah. And we also had a firefly and a spider design made for this.
Yeah, so I collect my thoughts. So I thought about 3 bosses, right? And they would have different themes. So there would be like this one melee guy, the beetle. And I thought like, oh, he's gonna be the most simple. We spent most of our time on him. And I made the sprites for all of the 3 bosses, and we never got to use them. So I was like kind of bummed out. But I understand that they did all they could to realize the ideas I had, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm still really very happy with the success we had. The other bosses, I thought about a Luma fly, so like a firefly with a big ball on its back, and the arena would be mostly dark, and it would revolve around the boss running around, not necessarily chasing the player and casting spells. So, for example, he would go inside the middle of the arena and do like a big explosion, and you'll have to go to the sides of the map. He was gonna shoot out a big laser from one side of the map to the other. He would charge up his light bulb. For the second boss, there would be like a spider. Like I would want to show you guys the sprites I did. I'm very happy with how it looked. The spider would be more like a ranged guy. He would spit acids. There would be like a big goo ball that like he spawns on the floor and cobwebs. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, so this is what happens if your kit managed to fail and some of your map details get phased out of existence. Good. We actually had a git merge error like 15 minutes before the deadline, so that was fun. Yeah. Do you have any other questions or something? I don't know. What?
Sound. The music.
Yeah. The beat was created by other teammate who got sick, so he was feeling quite bad yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going home," and then he stayed there. But he actually created one more track, but because when we play tested it, we realized this game loop isn't really that long, so we couldn't use a lot of those things. So yeah, big ideas, but this is a game jam. You gotta make an MVP and do what's best.
Okay. Thank you. Big round of applause for them. And now let's continue with the second team. And the second team will be Beyond the Wall with the game All for One. Please welcome them to the stage.
võtan. Hello. Okay, väga hea. Meil on, we need to explain that, what was created here. Well, it started with the microplastic and the creature that was created from it. That's why there is particles when you transform from one form to another, and that's why he's so squishy, kishy, watery, and massive. Yeah. The ideas change like a lot throughout these 48 hours, even less. And now we're here at the abandoned laboratory. And this creature gets squished and some of his powers gets lost, so he ventures to find himself, literally, and get out of this place. But as you can see, this could be pretty hard. You know, you never know what can happen at the abandoned laboratory. Just everything can happen. Yes, that's too. Yeah, great. That's maybe that's an escape in some kind of way. Yeah. So, and I was in the art department, and 3 people from me. Yes, there's all artists. We created a lot of stuff, but how much stuff was implemented? Well, not much. Which is, I mean, yes, of course. I'm just not just sad. I'm just sad that my stuff wasn't implemented that much. So, yeah, but I'm okay. So it can't see like scuffed, but the ideas were level design ideas were great. I promise you. Maybe I will share. But anyways, yeah. But we ended up with this one because miscommunication, very big one. But we are just happy that the animations of the character that other artist you did, they're here because it will be so sad that we just wouldn't be able to show that. Change the form, please. Yes, that. Yep. Yes. Well. Good job. I promise this game it's possible to finish it. I did it, though I hate platformers, but I did it. Anyways, when you complete the game, the creature escapes and eats one dead person and becomes that person, morphs itself into that person, and then he goes out. Who knows what will be he doing next? And there's even a little bit this advertisement for pizza. I don't know if someone saw it. I hope. Oh my god, get help. Anyways, do you have questions? Did you have fun? I hope so. Though it's supposed to be like a rage quit game at some point. Yeah, fun. We had fun creating this game. That's all that matters, actually. So, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
What did you learn from this game jam? What? Why? Why suffering?
I mean, I myself learned that you need to be really close with programmers. You just can't sit like like I don't know 5 feet apart. So you need to be like really close, and every time ask anything. You have any questions, you ask, and you ask again, and it's very important at the start so you have a base. So then in the end, like I don't know, 5 hours before the game jam ends, you're like, what the are we doing? Because I don't know what we're doing, and it's like so communication and really like close communication with the people.
Okay.
So I have an interesting question for the artist side of the. The interesting question for the artist side. Did you also try to do stuff in the game engine itself, or were you more of we're gonna make the assets and then give the folder to the programmers to implement?
The second one more. Well, yeah, it just we did, and we sent the files, and they tried to implement it. I mean, at some point, in the end, I got the opportunity to see it, and I saw that I needed to be there, like not at the Saturday, or is it low path? Oh my god. Anyways, yes, because I was like needed there to design levels. Otherwise, the programmers will do something like that. This is good also, but yeah, again, we needed to be there, and we weren't there.
So the artists were like team leads for programmers, yes?
Um,
Kind of.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, I got the answer.
Yes.
All right. But I think it's time to let you go sit again, and big round of applause for them. Thank you. And the next team, they are very epic. They are epic jammers with their game Shrimple. Please, to the stage.
So hello everyone. Is the mic working? Yes, very cool. So we are team Epic Jammers, and for this jam we decided to go with the most shrimple idea. So we decided to make a game about a shrimp trying to escape from a kitchen. So in our game you play as this little shrimp guy, and you have to escape from the kitchen by climbing these obstacles and also keeping yourself hydrated. And yeah, a big part of the game is that you have to escape from the evil hand of the chef who is trying to put you back in the soup. And also you can dip yourself in some sauces to gain some juicy power-ups that you will see soon. But in the meantime, I'll tell you that all the assets are created by our amazing artists, Millu and Jan Markus. And also thank you to Daniel for creating the chef sound effects. Are there any questions? Oh, the voice is Daniel's.
What the shrimp?
And also one of our own voices. I hope you can guess whose. You probably won't.
That's a big puzzle for you.
Get here. Can't wait for the shrimps. Can't wait for the shrimps.
What? Okay. What was the most difficult thing about this game? Making this game?
About making this game.
Yes.
Maybe working together with 4 programmers. We had like 2 beginners and 2 seniors or pros. So we did lots of pair programming. So the juniors could learn lots about the engine and so on. And I think I succeeded in teaching Lars and Artur about the engine.
And how do the juniors assess themselves? Like, were the pros good teachers in this short amount of time?
What do you guys think?
Yes, I think Oscar did really good because we had like a pair programming. So Oscar will like instruct what you should do and how you should implement it. Because I have not used Godot, I've used only Unity. So it was a bit new for me. And then Oscar was always there to help me.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat. I think they were both really good teachers. Oscar especially left me some nice tests, some mistakes he intentionally left in the code for me to figure out. So that was just a great learning experience overall.
What is this shrimp doing?
Yeah, you guys were awesome learners.
Okay, that's really awesome. So, thank you. Big round of applause for them. And the next team is called Hapu Kurgi Purgi Nurk with the game Summer Survival. Please to the stage.
Testing. So our team had 2 programmers. So we figured that the best way to split the workload was to make 2 games. So I mostly did the one on the left and Ivo did the one on the right. So we wanted to combine like a simple match 3 game with something more unique. And tiny creatures, one of the things it made us think of was mosquitoes, who are annoying, and we want to burn them with fire. That's why you can also see the fire icon. So if you make matches of 4 or more tiles, then it fills up the flamethrower, which you can use now. We didn't have time to animate the flames, so it's a very interesting static flamethrower, but it does the job well. And in the middle you have an irritation bar, because mosquitoes don't really kill you, but they irritate you so much that when you get too irritated you lose the game. But using the flamethrower to burn them pulls the irritation like way down. It's kind of overpowered at the moment. You can also put the bug zapper app up. You have it unlocked, and then that starts attracting the mosquitoes. It can kill 10 mosquitoes and then they come back to you. And you're about to die, I think. Yep. Die from irritation. And you survived from 86 seconds. I think that's twice as long as I ever did. Also, on the art side, the art team decided to go for a comic book style, which I think turned out well. And there's a literal comic in the intro, so. Do you have anything to add? No? Ah. Yeah. Our art time does not sleep. Not long before the event or even after or anything. Yes, also we have the bug spray, and the third one is...
Our music is made in-home by our amazing artist. So thank you.
That includes the sound effects as well.
I think all the sound effects are practical effects, not from the internet, or...
All the sound effects are recorded by me. They're real physical things. And yeah, also the music. A member from another team was very kind and let me use their guitar. That made possible the soundtrack. You're a legend, thank you.
Nice, yeah. And we also had a sound effect for the mosquito sound, but for everyone's benefit, we left it out of the game. Because we hear that enough in the summer, and especially when you're trying to sleep and there's one in the room. Oh yeah, and the third item in the power-ups is a skin cream that you can use to like reduce your irritation. So if you use it, it goes down a little bit. Any questions? I guess not.
I think the audience doesn't want to ask anything, so I will ask. Like, especially from the art side, like, how did you come up with all this, like, comic book style, or how do you come up with this kind of thing? Like, does it require some, or did you have some, like, kind of like inspiration or something like this, or it just like pop out of your head, like, let's do UI like this?
So it all started with a bunch of papers that we handed around the whole team to write out our ideas and stuff. And so suddenly we were like, oh, comics. And then me, being like a little hoo-hoo, I confused comics with pop art. Yeah, so I suddenly started making like pop art, like downloading all these filters and like everything I could. And we just had to, they just had to adapt to it a little bit. But yeah, it worked out really well. Like, really well. So I'm like so proud of us.
Yes, it did. Thank you for this. Okay, I think that you are all very sleepy, I can see. So big round of applause for them. Thank you. And the next team actually should have been the previous team, but I failed with this, but they failed with their git push. So git push failed with farmers critters, please.
Hello. Our game was Farmers Critters, and we actually had a cutscene for it as well to like explain the story, but unfortunately we didn't have enough time to fully implement it. In the future, hopefully it will be added. And basically the story was you're a traveler and you trip over something, who knows what it is, and when you look back, it's a tiny little creature, teeny tiny one, very cute, very sad, And then this nice farmer lady comes over and is like, "Oh no, all my creatures have escaped. Can you help me?" And you not being able to say no, you're like, "Yes, I will help you because you're a kind soul." So you go on this adventure, trying to find all 8 critters, which are these teeny tiny pixel ones here. They're all like kind of farm themed and stuff like that. And once you find them, you bring them home. They're happy and safe. The 2D art, a lot of it, well, I did yet again. The cutscene didn't get in, but the UI, all of that was by me. Pixel art by, I feel like I'm gonna say your name wrong, so I'm very sorry. Ayrton? Ayrton. And then 3D was by Samuel. And then Wonderful Music by...
Timur. What else to say? All the SFX and music was done by me and implemented into the engine also by me, which was, by the way, Unreal Engine, so that was the reason why half of the team didn't sleep that much. Yeah, apparently that's it.
Quickly gonna mention that we had a 6th member as well, but he was feeling sick, so he's not here today.
So yeah, Kaspar was apparently doing everything except for the music and sounds. Kevin, who is not present at the moment, was doing the AI, and we have 3 designers who made all the 2D and 3D assets. Another idea of the game is to make it simple from the start, since we decided to use to make a 3D game and then just add many assets on top. And I think it came out in the following way, because we couldn't add all of the assets, all of the music and stuff that we made.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? I know that you are sleepy, but this is your time this is your only time, your only chance to ask questions from developers. Yes, that's good.
Were the 3D models custom made or were they public assets?
Nearly all the models are made by me, and Kaspar made a couple. And yeah, they're all like original, no like asset packs or anything.
Textures also then. Yes.
Well, the soundtrack used in the game will be available on YouTube. It's an honest question.
I'll take it as a compliment. I will add it to Bandcamp.
Okay, it seems that's all. Thank you for making this awesome shooting experience. And yes, even I too like this sound effect. I mean, all of this, but the sound design is really well done. So thank you for that, and big round of applause for them. And today we have here kohaliku Maxima studio with the game Cheese Rush. Please to the stage.
Hello, hello.
So yes, we are the masterminds behind the Cheese Rush, a game where you play as a little mouse, trying to collect cheese around the house while trying to remain undetected by the cat, who is sleeping, but sometimes opens her eyes, peeking, and if you get caught out, she will kill you. The game, the levels are, there are multiple stages of levels. There's easy, medium, and hard, and they're randomly, in a random order that they appear, depending on the time. And what else is there? Oh yeah, our team consists of 4 wonderful programmers and 1 artist. All the assets are custom made. Well, maybe some made it in there that in the tutorial stage, but generally, yeah, all assets are custom made. And what else did I forget to mention?
So the main gameplay is to run around and collect cheese. We could have implemented a high score system, but we ran out of time. So currently you just have to memorize your highest score. You can sprint in the game if you feel like you were in danger of getting caught by the cat. So you sprint to the safe spot, but by doing so you exchange some of your score. Can you maybe demonstrate it? Shift. So the score goes down the more you sprint. If the game lasts longer, the more unique scenes appear. Like this one, for example, it can't appear in the beginning of the game, but the more you advance, the harder the stages get. There are multiple different types of tiles that you can step on. For example, the ones with the yellow border are some really squeaky cushions that alert the cat. There are also some cobblestone stuff that makes sound that says noisy on it. And as long as you keep the cat asleep, you should be fine for as long as you can last. Does anyone want to add something?
So we found out that the best strategy in this game is to wait around a lot. So it's probably not the most exciting game, but there's also, yeah, as you can see, the mouse got trapped, and that's not good. So.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, was it a deliberate design choice, or did you not have time to implement some sort of system for alerting the player that the cat is looking? Or
Yeah,
some kind of sound detection bar or something?
Yeah, we were going to add a bar for that, but we ran out of time, so we just had to have the player rely on the cat's animations.
I'd like to ask if this level is infinite, or does it end sometime too?
Yeah, it's infinite. It deletes the frames that you have gone through and keeps adding more the more you progress in the level. So you can play it forever if you want to. You can't go backwards forever. That's the one problem. We could have added a border there, but we ran out of time for that as well. But okay, there's actually a catch. You can't go infinitely. You can only go to the integer limit as of current.
Okay, I think that's all with the questions. So thank you for making this great game, and hopefully we will see you more making these games, and thank you. So big round of applause for them. And the next team is called Bitbite with the game Paws of Doom. Please to the stage.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. So we are Bitbite, the team behind the game Paws of Doom. So we're a team of 2 developers and 4 artists. So imagine a house, the homeowner whose house is infested with bugs, all kind of bugs, ants, beetles, wasps, you name it. And she's really frustrated, but luckily for her, she has a cat who is really fierce and competitive. So she makes a game out of it, killing the bugs. So that's the whole story behind our game. It's a multiplayer game. It's timed for a minute, and you're supposed to avoid the wasp. They have negative pointing, so you'll lose points. And the beetles, they're the bigger ones. They give you points, and keep in mind that it takes 2 hits to kill a beetle, but just 1 hit for the wasp and the ants. So the idea was to create this really timed and multiplayer game. I know you all tried it, but I know you tried it like a single player game. But I tried it before with my friends, and it's really more fun when you play versus each other. So yeah, as the time progresses, the spawn gets more and more, and it gets really chaotic, really fast paced. So it's more fun. You make more mistakes. That's the idea behind this whole 1 minute timed game. Have much more fun in just a minute. And there we go. So we have a winner. So yeah, we have the UI. Our artist did a really fine job, and we were able to add all the assets and then make this complete game. Personally, for me, this was my first game jam. I personally started with the game world using Unity 3 weeks ago, and we used Godot engine for this. And luckily for me, he was experienced and he mentored me really well. I mostly write on ChatGPT, but like he and I would fix it together. And like for the bugs, we used vectors and directions, so all the math that was really good. Lots of learning opportunities. So, and thank you for the guys. You did really good work. Couldn't have done it without you. Anything like that?
Any questions?
I have a question for audience. Like, it's a multiplayer game. So when you were voting back then, did you play it in pairs? So raise your hands if you played it in pairs. So, and okay, yeah. But quick thing. So that those who didn't raise their hands, they didn't play the game, or they don't have any friends in this game jam. So, yeah.
I played multiplayer alone. What I count?
Okay, sorry. Thank you for this explanation. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Personal comment from my side is I like to see that some of the teams or one team from this game jam keeps the local multiplayer alive. That's a really awesome thing, because playing together is always more fun than playing alone. And with that, we conclude with your team. So thank you, and Thank you for this all. So big round of applause. And the next team, Mo HFNDH, with the game The Great Elf Rebellion. Please, to the stage.
This is working. So we made this game. The story came along while we were developing this game. The quest is for Santa to get all the presents while the elves try to steal the present from him. You might ask why the elves want to steal the presents from the Santa. Well, that's because Santa decided that he's not gonna give out any more paid vacations because the economical situation in the world is really bad. And the elves didn't like it that much. Most models are made by us. I think we used a couple of textures. And yeah, I'm too nervous to speak further.
Okay. Yeah, so I can speak a bit from the gameplay design perspective. So our core idea at first was to have lots of tiny, some kind of monsters following the player on a nav mesh in a 3D world. Because I had some previous experience with Unity nav meshes already. And originally it was maybe supposed to be like a semi-horror game, Halloween themed more. That's what you can hear from these sound effects a little bit. But yeah, we kind of switched fully to the Christmas themed game. So it's more like an action game now. Yeah. So yeah, we had 2 developers and 4 artists, very productive artists. Very difficult to add all the stuff into the game as fast as they were creating it. Yeah, our 3D models made by our 3D artists. Sounds found by our sound engineer. And yeah, 2D sprites that appear in the UI menus created by our 2D artists. Yeah. Any questions?
What are the giant jesters behind the fence about?
Okay, so basically, they are well, a different kind of gnome that I planned to, like I textured it, I made it, and then when the day of the day came, we couldn't use it because we didn't have enough time because there was a lot of errors. So our veteran coder took my beautiful creation and put it behind the fence and was like, it looms over all the elves and Santa Claus menacingly. Any more questions?
What is the story behind Santa's twisted ankle?
The problem was that the Blender didn't export the animation quite correctly. We had a few issues. Apparently, Blender liked to add a few more bones for no reason. So, yeah, we decided that we give a side story for Santa. Like a couple of elves beat him up already, so now he's running from them.
It's a feature, not a bug. But yeah, basically we use the Unity standard 3D assets third-person character controller, and then just modified the animation so that the right hand is not like moving like default way, but it's holding the bag. Lots of trouble to like modify the default animation.
Okay, I think that's all. So thank you for this. Well done. And big round of applause for them. And the next game will be Pesky Critters by Team Monkey. Are you here? Yes. So applause.
So, hello, I'm Ricky. We made pesky critters. We assumed it was going to be a smooth ride this time. We had everything planned out from the very beginning. We had the scope set out. We had made sure the scope wouldn't be too big. It was like only just a few things, just to get the core game loop going. Well, you know where I'm going with this. It went to hell real quick. Basically. What to do here is you plant some crops, like a true farmer. And like a true farmer, you want to protect your crops from pesky little critters. So how do you protect them? You just kick the hell out of them. So, and you protect your crops, you grow them, you harvest them, you sell them. And when you sell the crops, you get a bit of money and a bit more time. And the goal is just to be able to grow your crops for as long as possible before you will eventually still get overrun by critters. There isn't much to say. Our sound guy here, for some reason, brought the whole studio with him. Our artist was doing artist stuff. And I was drinking seven hustlers a day. Any questions?
I think personally, timers are a really odd choice for a farming game. So I was really wondering why the design choice.
Wait, what was the first part of the question? I couldn't hear.
I said that timers, I think, are a really odd choice for a farming game, and I just really wanted to inquire about the reason for this.
Well, it was easier than just trying to do it with lives, so. And it was more fun. You can actually play it quite a long time, and it's, let's be honest, timers are an addictive game mechanic. So we decided to use that.
When I played it, I saw exactly one cow during the whole minute I played it. What's up with that?
You saw only one crow for the whole time?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was because I pushed a broken update there. I accidentally forgot to set the check to... because at one point, quite often what happened, what you can see right now here also, is that multiple critters went on the same plot, which actually causes you to lose the game really quick. Because if they destroy your plot, then you'll also lose some time, in addition to money and stuff. So I tried to fix it. I added a check that, hey, this one already wants to go there, don't go there. But what I had done was I had set it by default to true. So every time it checked for a free plot to go, it didn't find any, so it just didn't work.
Any more questions? So let me clear one thing once more. Maybe you talked about it, but I didn't pay attention that well. So all the art was done by your artist, yes?
What? Yeah.
All the art.
All of the art is purely by our own artist Toit here.
Okay, that's.
And
really
all of the music and sound effects are his brother Silver's personal work.
Yes, you can. Now it's louder. You can hear it. So all of this was made by you, yes? Okay, that's really, really great. Like, was there only 3 of you, or?
There was a fourth one also, but she only could come to help us for a few hours. She was our assistant programmer, but her job decided to do a little prank on her, and so she couldn't come join for the most of time. Like she came yesterday for like a few hours, but then she had to go to sleep because she had work today also.
Okay, I really like the polish of this game. Like, it's, or I mean this the style it has. It really like fits to the game, and these little shakes and things that you have added there, really nice. It's a fun little game to play. So well done. Like my last question would be like, what are your main takeaways from this game jam? What can you do better next time?
Plan out on paper, but for me as a programmer, I'm just planning out on paper the whole system beforehand before actually starting making it. Because currently, I started making it too soon. I didn't plan it out thoroughly enough, and it's a buggy mess now.
But do you also plan to continue with this game?
Yep. If my teammates here are interested in it, then why not?
I can see you have all the skills like needed already. So you could continue with this game and maybe even make it to somewhere else besides this game jam. So don't let this game die, as I always say. Any more questions? Nope. So thank you, and big round of applause for them. And the next team, they are parkour noobs with the game Carrot Graze. Sorry, Carrot Graze. To the stage, please.
So, my name is Siim. She's Mia. So there were only 2 of us, and because of this, we decided to not do our own assets this time. We wanted to have the gameplay be as good as possible. We were heavily inspired by Celeste and Hollow Knight when we did this. We really liked those games, so we also wanted to make a 2D platformer. So the story basically is you're a bunny who needs to make a big carrot pie for the fall festivities, and but for this she has to collect carrots. And right now she's talking to the frog NPC, and you can wall jump. There were plenty of things we wanted to implement, like dashing and particles and some general polish, but we unfortunately didn't have much time. Also, the biggest headache in this game for us was the dialogue system, surprisingly. It didn't take the most time, but it was the most irritating. So this, just talking to people was, for some reason, very hard to implement. but probably the most code-heavy part of the game is the player movement. Yes, you can see we're pretty proud of it. The wall jump works well. You slide around, you can sprint, you can move around pretty freely, and it's basically how it depends on how good you are. There's a pretty good skill ceiling here, I think at least. And I would compare this to our last game jam in April, I think. We spent too much time on assets in April, so we thought we want to make a good game. We want to make a really good game this time, actually, that's actually playable and at least somewhat enjoyable. So this was the result. And here in the end, you can see how many carrots you collected. You don't need to collect all of them. We also wanted to have a cutscene here maybe, but here are the credits. Yeah, as you can see, very many art references and music references. And there's also no quit button. You just have to close it yourself. Yes.
Any questions? Nope. So I have a question. Don't leave it. So this is your second game jam?
Yes.
And last time you had problem with assets. So like what exactly, like can you explain a little bit more, like what kind of problem did you have? Like,
well, not really a problem, it's just we spent too much time. I am a worse programmer than her, but I did most of the programming last time, which is why the result wasn't as good. So this time she did a lot more programming, resulting in a better game.
Okay. And so this time you came here and you said, like, you restricted time, like searching for the assets and like designing the game itself. And I can see that you managed to, like, even if you use these assets from online, you managed to put them nicely together with like C's and like, for example, this demo, I haven't yet played your game, I haven't had the time, but it seemed like it doesn't have any, like it isn't broken, it doesn't feel broken, it feels like something that's up and running well, of course, as you understand, and this is your second time now, you know that it takes a lot of time to create this one running thing and so, and there's limited time in this game jam to actually implement all like more features. But I think you managed to do it quite well. So first of all, you were like non-competing, but then you created a good result, and actually it's very nice that you took off the non-competing tag, because I think you did very well. So nice job.
Thank you.
But any questions? No? Okay, thank you. You can leave. Big round of applause. And Ruudustajad will be here and talk about Rats of Anubis. Applause.
Hello, hello. We were originally a 6-man team, but as you see, we've don't go in yet, please. We've dwindled down to 3, but that's because we had all problems. 2 of our members, unfortunately, they couldn't participate well. But in spite of that, I think we made a pretty cohesive game at least. So what we decided from the beginning is we wanted to use billboarding in a 3D game. Which is basically that all the sprites are 2D. Well, as you can see, the enemy sprites are 2D here. but otherwise the game world is all 3D. But when we saw tiny creatures, we decided that all the enemies will be rats and scorpions and snakes and stuff. Our main focus for this game was really the combat and movement of the game. As you can see, you can double jump. If you click fast enough, you can even triple jump. You can dash in the air with your sprint button. You can sprint, for that matter. With 2, you can swap weapons. I'm especially proud of this system. This took me a pretty long time to implement this weapon swapping. Our assets, graphical assets, are all made by our artist Sophia. Actually, a really huge thanks to her. Aside from our gun assets, which are royalty-free, taken from Sketchfab. The other is also some royalty-free music we found online. Unfortunately, we did not have the time. As I mentioned, we had problems. Also, we had a lot of GitHub merging problems. Game broke quite a few times. I don't know if anyone has any. He wants me to mention that we do actually have a player character model, which you cannot see, but it is beautiful, trust me. Just take my word for it. But any questions, please?
Is the gameplay inspired by Ultra Kill by any chance?
I didn't quite catch that.
Is the game inspired by Ultra Kill by any chance?
The movement. Actually, it's inspired by Doom, but at one point I got so sick of, after an all-nighter, of course, I got so sick of coding shit that I decided I'm just gonna start adding stuff. So I started with the double jump, the air dash, everything. It's not really Ultra Kill inspired as much as Doom, I'd say, but I can see where you make the distinction, yeah. You can win in this game, by the way, but it seems our player can't really hit the enemies well.
So how many waves are there?
6 waves. You can see there's 2 waves left. In the beginning, you can see the total waves.
Okay.
Also, in the beginning of this game, we had a much bigger design and much more stuff we wanted to do, but time constraints and problems came up.
So with the GitHub merge, there was an issue, and all of this arena area was, well, it was covered a lot more, and there was supposed to be a rope that you were supposed to climb up after surviving all the waves. But yeah, time ran out, and yeah, this is what we had left.
One very last thing I'd like to mention is that pretty much none of us had any experience with Godot beforehand, so we all learned from scratch.
That's awesome. One question about the Git thing. So, what is your main takeaway from this Games Jam? Is it how to work on with Git or Godot? Like, you learned both of the things. I understand.
No, I think I'm pretty much a Godot expert now. Not so much with GitHub. I'm still kind of not good at GitHub. I think I learned a lot of Godot, and I think I could make a standalone game right now in my current state, even if I started right now.
Okay, so next time we should come and fix all the GitHub things, like before you start developing, and give some crash course maybe, and then you can start.
I think
start
we
pushing
made
and pulling.
we made like 6 branches because the other ones broke.
Okay, thank you. But big round of applause for them. And the next team is called Saunavennad with the game Bunch of Bad Babies Beating Bald Bloke. To the stage, please.
Hello, we are Team Saunavenad, and we made the game bunch of bad babies beating bald bloke, and we were very surprised with the game concept, the game theme this time, and we wanted to make something unique, and this is what we came up with. And yeah, we have a little cutscene at the beginning, and yeah, it explains the motivation pretty well. Yeah, we have a different title screen as well, and very simple settings menu, and also a tutorial. Well, the concept is very simple. We did want to make something special with the gameplay, and yeah, a key part that we wanted to focus on was replayability, and we think we achieved that with this concept. We wanted to try out rhythm for the first time, and yeah, this is our take on that. So at the beginning, you have a choice of 4 characters: the Taekwondo baby, Kung Fu baby, Karate baby, and the Jiu-Jitsu baby. They'll have their own different styles, and we wanted to focus on an upgrade system because the game itself is very difficult, and the gameplay loop revolves around this upgrade system. So the more upgrades you get, the more easier the game will become, and eventually you will beat the game, but definitely not on the first try. And yeah, our theme of rhythm was yeah, basically just mashing random buttons as fast as you can. And yeah, it is very unforgiving, but each time you will get more points, and the more points you get, the more upgrades you can spend them on, and eventually it will get a lot easier. This game also has the longest track I have ever made in GarageBand, and yeah, it basically there is a win condition, and you have to survive for 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's not implied, but you have to survive for 1 minute and 40 seconds to get to the ending. And yeah, it's basically survival in this sense. You have to survive against the wizard, get to the win condition, and yeah, then yeah, that's basically the gameplay loop. It is possible to beat the game with very few upgrades, but yeah, it is a lot more fair if you just try to spam as many upgrades as you can. And yeah, we managed our work this time very well. All of us were very all of us participated in programming, and a lot of work went into the art, the animations, and also the particle effects. This is one of our first things that we have tried. And yeah, we think it came out very fancy, very satisfying. And yeah, the concept of martial art babies is, I think, is something that not a lot of people have capitalized on before. And yeah, really think that this is something that can sell very well. And yeah, there are a lot of modifiers with the multiplier. The faster, the more you get a combo, the faster the background characters start to move, and eventually your character starts dancing as well. Yeah, so it is a very, very long gameplay loop if you're willing to sit through it. But yeah, it is something that is very, very hooking. Yeah, I worked on the sound effects, the music, the animations, some of the scripts. Raul and Karen were the main programmers of our team. They worked on all of the signals, the scripts, being proficient, all the scenes going where they should go. Our new member Anneli worked really, really hard on the UI, and Ander was also one of our team members who designed the particle effects and also play tested a lot and worked on the scripts and programming part as well. Yeah, I think we managed this very, very well. And yeah, there is a victory screen, but it does take a while. So yeah, I really do suggest playing it yourself and reaching the end. But yeah, that will be it from us. Are there any questions?
So you have this 4-character system in the game. What does the character affect in the gameplay as well? Or is it just cosmetic?
It is purely customizable. We did want to make it a system where you could spend your currency on these characters and buy them and them having these special buffs, but yeah, in the end we did think that it would be just more simple to make them just customizable characters.
Right, so currently they're just cosmetic rather than having effects. Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Are there any more questions?
Only could finish the game by upgrading my character to the full level. Is it possible to win the game with no upgrades?
Yes. Replayability was a big focus, and it is possible, but it is very, very, very hard. So, yeah, all the upgrades are necessary for completing the game, but if you are superhuman, then you could probably beat this with no upgrades as well.
Okay. Thank you for showing this. Thank you for making it. Big round of applause for them. And the next team is called Sinne Goes A with the game Vacuum Decay. Please to the stage.
So we're the team Rosa, and we just made the game of Vacuum, sucking in some stars that have faces and planets that you need to destroy to get more stars. And then there's challenge mode where you have certain time. Wait, no, it counts your time, but you need to get like 400 stars to finish. And there's also trash that you need to avoid because it will just take some of your points.
Yeah, we began with when we were thinking about the tiny creatures. Well,
first ideas were, of course, Mouse's box, and we were like thinking more philosophically, like what is tiny and what are creatures. Like when I compare with the universe, we are the stars and planets, and we are actually very tiny, and we are creatures. And we talked about the walls vacuum decay, and there was the word vacuum inside, and we just then, okay, vacuum in space, sucking little creatures and stars.
I was one of the programmers, and I like Godot. Godot is really good. I recommend Godot. Everything just worked. And we had some Git issues, but nothing too bad. So thank you to Git and Godot.
Well, some things I do mention is that the artists have implemented a little Easter egg. Remember our appearances, glasses and hairs, because if you look closely at some stars, some rare stars, you might spot a difference, a little difference. But if you are keen-eyed enough, but yeah, a little Easter eggs we could put into. At first we planned to make some sort of relaxing game, but I went through and pushed an idea of making a challenge mode additionally, so that players would have that challenge to overcome and it wouldn't just last forever and ever. So we had a challenge mode where you have a certain amount of stars to collect and relax mode where you can just play as long as you want, collect as many stars as you want, and just choose enter the Zen mode and so on. So yeah, we have made a chess game.
Yes.
So this is a great game after the hard work everybody has been up to. It's a great game to relax after all of this.
So then I would like to ask any questions.
Seems like
If no questions, then the vacuum, I drew it in 5 seconds in Paint. And it's great. And it fits the rest of the art style so well. Also, thank you to the actual artists on our team. They were really great to work with. And cool art. Thank you. And we also have a graphic designer who designed the graphics.
I had a great time working with him, so extra special thanks from me.
Juhei.
That's awesome. So I have actually one more question. You mentioned the Git problems. You didn't mention it, like, wasn't that big, but what was it? Like, can you explain it a little bit in detail?
One of our team members couldn't push because the Git on the Game Jam computer had someone else still logged in, even though I changed the local user. But
Okay. Yeah, it was something from our side then. Yeah. Not by. Okay. I had just some thought what it was. But I can then see that, like, your game, this game jam, like, was for you also like relaxing, made a relaxing game, art. So if I am like listening to all the other teams, like they were struggling and all bugs there, but you're so relaxed over here. Your game saying, oh, everything went well, Godot was great. So that's pretty much what I understand. Yes.
yeah, I even slept tonight, so that's cool.
Okay, so you can see this is a professional team. They even sleep. That's nice to hear. Okay, I think there are no more questions. Thank you for making this relaxing game experience. Applause for them. And the next team is called Team Mulmul with the game Critter Journal. To the stage, please. And applause.
Hello. We are Team Mulmul. I am Marin. This is Artyom, and this is Mihkel, my brother. I did the art, and my teammates did everything else, the programming. I also did the music. This is our game Critter Journal. To win our game, you must explore the area and find all of the little creatures in order to unlock them in the journal. This is the journal. There are some creatures that you can find that are just around the map, and others which need riddles to be solved for them to come out. This one is kind of like the tutorial one, so you unlock it and see that the journal works. In the journal, there are hints for finding each creature, and when you discover one, you will be shown more information about them, and maybe even hints to how they interact with other not yet found creatures. We will introduce all of the creatures to you after Artyom has actually found all of them, and we can show the field journal. When we were thinking about how to make this game, we also thought about making a little character that the player can walk around as, but we figured it would be too complicated, so we just made a point-and-click game. While making this game, there were a few issues. I don't personally like that we didn't have a tutorial system. It's kind of hard to figure out that you have to click and hold the right mouse button to look around the map. The second problem was that when we first uploaded the game, one of the names in the journal was wrong. So that created a lot of confusion because you need to throw clints, they're little rocks, into the pond, but players couldn't figure out the creature named Clint wasn't actually Clint because we named it wrong in the journal. Another thing that bothered me was that the Kiki page had the text overlaying the arrow. How many characters have we found? The first one that we found was the frog. That is bogus. The frog is a liar, but he doesn't really speak, so you wouldn't know. There's the coin, sentient. You have to throw the coin in the well to make a wish, which is a ritual. And every time you throw the coin in the well, it either starts raining or becomes night or becomes day. When it's night or raining, there are certain creatures found in each one. Like you can only find worms when it's raining, and you can only find fireflies when it's night. All worms in this game are named Ryan. and you have to feed them to the little blue fish, whatever the name was. The fish was the one with the wrong name at first. Oh, there's the bee. Bee's name is Boba. Oh yeah, the fish's name was Glorp. I always forget. There's the coin again. It really does not want to be in the well. It hates the well, but we are torturing it forever. There's the error. Eerie fly. Kiki is one of the creatures with the most creative designs. It's the opposite of the rodent bird because the bird has no wings and the fish has wings, so the bird just rolls around. And if someone didn't figure out, the bird needs to be fed an apple, which is the sweet thing it craves. And sometimes it doesn't take the apple the first time you give it. Any questions?
Am I blind, or was it mentioned anywhere that the game requires dragging the mouse? I was just looking at the frog and that was it. It's just the sentient happened to waddle onto my screen. I was like, oh, like a minute after the game started, I was like, what is happening? But now I see that you drag around. No.
We added.
Was it mentioned anywhere?
We added the information, like not at first, but we did add it somewhere. Yeah.
A lot cooler than I thought. I thought it was just, I was so confused what is happening, but now I see that like a lot more effort went into it than I initially thought.
That is very sad, because I would have added it if we had time. And the first time that I played it, I also didn't figure it out.
Do you plan on continuing the work on this game? Because I feel like you have a pretty solid idea going on, and I really like it.
Yes, we are fixing all the mistakes, and we're adding some stuff. We're adding some visuals that I have already drawn, and we didn't have time to implement, like a little skull that's the terror the ladybug sits on. Yeah, I don't know how much further we'll go. We have made one kind of similar art style game in the past, which was in August for another game jam, which was about fishes swimming around. We'll probably make more games.
Agree. Quick comment from me also that I agree, continue with this great game. It looks and plays really nice. So thank you for making it. And big round of applause for them.
Thank you for having us.
And the next team is Team Tofu with the game Cupboard Critters.
Hallo. So, as a lot of you may have noticed, we had a little trouble with our game. So, what happened for a lot of people was that if you opened this tab and you started clicking on the bugs, I noticed it got stuck for some people, and they couldn't open the real game back up again. And for some people, the bugs didn't go into the right places. So what was supposed to happen was here. So you were supposed to crush the bugs and feed them to the creatures, and they were supposed to multiply. Yeah, and it makes me a little bit sad because I feel like we had a pretty good idea, but unfortunately people didn't really get to experience that. Yes, this is how it was supposed to work out. So the creatures ate the bugs, and if you didn't overfeed them, then they would multiply, and then it would generate points for you. And the way that you would lose was that if you didn't feed them, they would get hungry and they would start eating each other, and you would lose if all of them died. Oh, and this is our team. So me and Lisa and Marlene. We did all of the art. Marlene and I did all of the character animations and the bugs, and Lisa did all of the environment. And the rest of the team was, I don't know how you exactly split the work, but you all did the programming.
So, I'm gonna talk a bit about the development process. First of all, on the first day we spent roughly 4 hours, maybe more, just coming up with the idea and fleshing it out, because we had this one simple rule that we need to make the game loop as tight and as addicting as possible. So that took the most of our energy, honestly. The development itself was quite a smooth process. On the first day we got most of the mechanical parts done, well, with bugs, of course. This is a game jam, but the basic game was there. We had some features that we couldn't implement in the game that were critical for the MVP. One of those was dragging the creatures, so you could separate the hungry, ravenous ones from the peaceful ones. Also, we planned on making an integrated tutorial into the gameplay, not as a simple picture like we have over here. Oh, it's broken.
And we still didn't fix everything.
One big feature was hunger indicators, hunger bars on each of those creatures, which you don't see right now. Those were supposed to show how hungry the creature is, and it was also supposed to show you that how close it was to starting to attack others, or how close it was to exploding, because in this game you can, in theory, overfeed your creatures, and that's also the mechanic how you can kill those hungry ones who are trying to eat the other ones.
We also had quite a lot of miscommunication, which definitely caused some delays. So One tip from me is that definitely don't do like we did it. So we kept our artists separate from the programmers, and we started communicating like today. I think around 1 o'clock. And one other thing that was supposed to happen was that the characters were supposed to multiply when they were at the middle stage. So not the big one that's on its back, but the one that's like looks kind of normal. But we realized that we miscommunicated seriously like 30 minutes before 4 o'clock. So please communicate with your team. Please. Mm. Yep, I think that's it.
All right, thank you. I have a quick question. So currently you're clicking along to bring the drawer up and down. Was at any given time, did you think about maybe implementing a button to actually slide the drawer in and out for a quicker access?
Did we? I think we were so caught up with problems. So yeah, we wanted to. Another thing that we didn't add was that we wanted to, when you open the game and you press play, the kind of like doors would open, because as you can see, it's like in a covered wardrobe, and they would like open. But we didn't implement that either. Oh, and also the sound sliders don't work. Yes. Do you have any questions?
What are those creatures and what are they inspired by?
We have no idea. So we wanted to make them as animatable as possible, so they would look like they were more like alive. And we just kind of agreed that we don't really need to know what they are, and that they're just creatures. But someone thought that they were boogers. Yeah, we don't know what they are.
Unknown creatures. Last question from you guys. Nope, I really like your idea. Of course, a little more polish and a little more time would have brought it more to life, but overall your idea is really awesome and it really fits to the Game Jam team. So thank you for making this, and big round of applause for them. And thank you. And if I am not mistaken, then we are having now on the stage, our final team called Will and Rillem Eine with the game Fantastic Adventure. Applause.
Yeah. Just in case. Sorry, I stepped on you.
No worries.
So we're Willem Drillem Eine. We made this when most other games here were really calm and getting into a zen zone. Essentially, we started the game by making the soundtrack. I made the soundtrack for the entire game. And after completing it, we realized that it's really anxiety-inducing. So we thought we're going to capitalize on that and make a game that just makes you really, really anxious. And here we have a tutorial. going through it. Most of our testers just clicked through the tutorial and clicked menu screen, and then we're like, oh, what? I can go through these ones with the red dots on it, and oh, what is this button, and why does this make a door open? And so yeah, read tutorials, guys. So now starting the game, you're an ant in the forest, and you're trying to escape from these 4 anteaters. They have names, but that's in the tutorial. I can't really remember them. And as you can see, there's those white things, and those are buttons that open up doors because that's what ants have in their colonies. And it's a little hard to see. We try to make it so you really have to focus to detect these invisible walls that don't have collisions. They have this little red dot in the middle of it, and you can just go straight through them, and then there are shortcuts. But there's also parts where they are actually leading you to your doom. So the further, the more to the right of the screen you are, the faster the game becomes. Then it's halved, so you can't go out of the screen. But also we were gonna implement a point system where you would be collecting items in the maze as well, which are on like different paths. And then with those and the time, you would get a point score. So the faster you did and the more collectibles you got, you would get a better score. But after like 3 hours of making the collectibles and all the icons and the code, we Git pushed it and everything just exploded. Like the whole code stopped working, nothing worked. And we spent like 4 hours trying to fix it. We got it to work, decided not to implement it because I had like 3 hours to smooth it and then publish it. And yeah, there is actually end to this, so it's not just infinitely scrolling, but we decided that we took 20 minutes to make the map. So each of us just decided that my map is gonna start at this block and it's gonna end at this block. And then we just made the list, and each player just made however much map they could make in that time. And then we got a map that was way too long. It took like 10 minutes to complete it, and one mistake just goes into like straight to the beginning. Okay, so we had none of us essentially had done any game development before. This was our first game jam, first contact with game development. And we luckily had 2 people who knew how to do graphic design to some level, and they designed the anteaters and maze blocks and everything. And I was in charge of the audio engineering, which is really good, as you can tell. And we had Uku, who was mostly responsible for the Git side and like the actual coding part, because he had prior experience just coding and using GitHub. And yeah, without him, we would have been completely doomed. Any questions, maybe?
They're vibing with the song right now. They can't ask. Okay.
Do the anteaters have names? Also have 2 questions. I'm just gonna say that right away. But yeah, do the anteaters have names?
Yes, they do. They're written in the... okay, we have the names right here.
The anteaters do have names. The first one is Sleepyhead, for I think quite obvious reasons. He has a sleep hat. Then the next one is called Mr. Cap. He has a cap. And the third one is called Drip, because he's dripped out. And the last one is named George. He looks like one.
Will the soundtrack be on YouTube?
Sure, I can also put it on my SoundCloud. I'll put it under the same name then, so you can find it. Oh yeah, we had like 6 iterations of the soundtrack, and they're all essentially the same thing. Okay, I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
Also, we've heard a lot of things about people separating the artists and the programmers, so we took a different approach. The artists sat right between the programmers, and the programmers were like, yo, we need a button sprite, make it now. Yo, we need a ant, make it now. So communication was pretty good actually, except for the kid part.
At the beginning of at like the 24-hour mark, essentially everyone was already so sleepy, so the artist actually had to start coding as well. So yes, it's a really strange world we live in.
Okay, I think that's all. Thank you. This is really awesome. I really like those anteaters vibing there. And big round of applause for them. And if I am not mistaken, then that was our last team, yes?